All right, everybody. Welcome into the Rant. I'm Pugs Moran. We do this every day round about this time. It is talk radio for normal people, at least. That's what I like to call it. We're not crazy here. We're just a bit eccentric, and we don't talk about the shit crazy people talk about, okay? Go listen to talk radio anywhere else. It's all politics. That ain't us. Sometimes it is. Sometimes. But it's unavoidable in today's culture. Everything seems to have some element of political idealism there somewhere. You're either MAGA or you're a libtard. You're one of those two things. Well, I don't subscribe to that. I think that there's a whole lot of us that aren't any of those things. And we're just kind of in the middle, and we're tired of being in our box. And that's what this show is for. It comes to you every day from the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios in the beautiful E-Gallery in Dallas's fantastic Design District. Sorry. Got my little nicotine pouch thing. I know. It's a terrible... No, it's not. You know what? It's not. I'm so used to saying it's a terrible, disgusting habit because I used to chew tobacco. And if you chew tobacco, you have to concede that when somebody goes, that's a disgusting habit, you have to go, yeah, I know, I'm just addicted to the nicotine. So they created these little pouch things that just deliver nicotine straight to your blood system without all the spitting and all the gross. And I'm telling you, I shouldn't be shamed anymore. This is not disgusting. What's disgusting about chewing tobacco, and well, not to the person who chews it, because it's actually kind of a fun thing to do, but to other people, what's disgusting about it is the spit in the juice and the bread. It's gross. You don't get any of that with these things. The only problem is I have a hard time keeping it. I was doing trivia at the Back Nine the other day. I do trivia every Tuesday, 7:30 at the Back Nine, 4060 Beltline Road. Come on out, win prizes. I was doing trivia, and in the middle of a question, it flew out. I was like, flew out. I'm like, all right, how many eggs in a dozen? And it just comes out. That is not an example of the kind of questions we do at trivia. Say hi to the chat room. We've got KB. Hey, Kev. How are you? Peter Lufkin. Peter says, the nicotine is no bueno for you. Look, whatever. That ship has sailed, my friend. Never smoked a cigarette in my life. Nope, never. Always found them absolutely disgusting. But somehow nicotine got me anyway. Damn you, R.J. Reynolds. Or whatever the big nicotine or tobacco company is. Hold on. You know what? I just need to get rid of it. All right, in the garbage. It was bugging me. I usually put a fresh one in before I start the show. But I forgot. So here goes. Here's a fresh one. See, this is so much not as gross as like a wad of dip. It's just like a little thing. You just suck on it. All right, there we go. Enough about me. Hi, April, the lovely April, our reigning trivia champion. She's good. She's good. All right, right out of the box. Pledge week. Shit ain't going well. It ain't going well. We'd like to say that we're going to make it this week, but there's no chance in hell we make it this week. We've gotten like 3 tips the entire week. And the week was screwed up anyway because we missed Monday because of freaking Labor Day. But that doesn't mean that we don't have people who I am proud to say are sponsors of this here show. For instance, today's show is brought to you by The Lovely Lufkins, Peter and Kim. Peter and Kim, man, thank you so much. Tipping the show. I appreciate you. Also, a shout out to one of our trivia Mount Rushmores, Bill Folk. Billy dropped the tip. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Barney. That's it. We've got the Lufkins, Peter and Kim. We've got Barney, and we've got Bill. We got Bill. That's it. That's the 4. So if you want to help the show out, you can tip it. You can go to the Venmo. You can do Cash App, whatever it is. Help keep this show alive. That's how we've been doing it for 4 years. Just got to raise a very little amount of money 1 week a month. And this is the month. So please help the show. Appreciate you. All right. What are we going to get into today? We got a lot of stuff to talk about. First and foremost, we're going to get into Powerball because what the hell, man? It rolled over again. We'll talk about when our next chance to win could be and what the number will be at then. Powerball. We'll get into that. Again, I've got tips. I've got tips for Powerball ticket purchasing. I think working class neighborhood is the best 7-Eleven or QT or whatever to buy your lottery ticket. A working class neighborhood. I don't think you should buy it like in rich neighborhoods. I don't think that those, if there is a God again, I like to think that God's going to let working people win, not people who already have money. A couple other tips we'll share with that when we get into the whole Powerball conversation. RFK Jr., he went in front of Congress today, and they're going back. They still don't know. They ended it, right? It was going all morning, and then I saw Bernie Sanders. Oh, my God. All right, so we got stuff we got to talk about there. RFK Jr. and his wackadoo theory. He's a wackadoo, man. I'm sorry. Look, I will explain to you who RFK Jr. is if you people don't know, because I think that there's a whole lot of people who have just kind of come to realize who he is over the last couple of years because, he's suddenly in line with their political views. And you don't know what this guy is, Ben. This guy is weird, okay? And he went up in front of the Congress. And senators on both sides of the aisle just knocked him fucking around for like 4 hours. And he fought back. And, it was great. So we'll get into that. He's a mess, man. You guys, he's a mess. He's everything about his body, his spirit. It's all fucked up. Other than the fact that he works out, man. He's a workout pro. Look at me. I'm yoked. Like, that's the only thing he's got going for him. Other than that, he's got parasites. He's got mental problems. He's got decades of fucking addiction because he was the dirtbag. He really was. He was like kind of the dirtbag Kennedy for a whole generation of people. And now all of a sudden he's deciding the future of America's health. We'll talk about that. Irish Catholic, Kennedy family, but we know who that guy is, and he's always been that guy. All right, so we'll get into all of that. Pugs, I thought you said you don't do politics. We don't do politics. This is just common sense, and I'm going to be speaking to you from my Irish Catholic upbringing, an upbringing where every freaking house of any woman over the age of 40 had a picture of JFK in it, okay? So I'm well-versed in the mythology of the Kennedy family, okay? He never recovered from JFK Jr. dying. That's going to be the main contention of what I'll share with you about RFK Jr. We'll talk about him coming up. What else? For those of you who've got a little pirate blood in you, I do. I don't know if you understand what I mean by that. Let me be more clear. Those of you who like to watch illegal streams from, foreign countries that don't have extradition to this nation, well, it was a bad day yesterday. Because a site that I use all the time and have used for years now to watch UFC events for free, to watch out-of-market sports games, because I live in Dallas. I don't get the home games of like White Sox and Blackhawks, so I got to go somewhere else because I sure as shit ain't paying an out-of-market fee. Well, if you got a little pirate in your blood, then we took a big loss yesterday. They shut down one of the big sites that I don't know what I'm going to do now. I have no idea. All right, so we'll talk about that. The sad case of Stream East. Stream East was shut down yesterday, so I'll tell you all about that. Also, what else do we got to do? I got a kind of a follow-up on yesterday's story where we talked about Graham Linehan, the creator of the It Crowd, and also a show called Father Ted, but I'm not as familiar with that as I am the It Crowd. He was arrested at Heathrow because he tweeted some mean things about trans people. Now, this falls under a new British law. He's like one of the first people to be sort of swept up in this new British law. We're going to talk about this new law, and we're going to talk about what Nigel Farage, who is, he's a lunatic, but whatever. He's a British politician or a British shitster. Nigel Farage was the guy behind Brexit. Okay, that's if you don't know who he is. And why should you? Because you don't follow British politics. Me, I know who he is because the default page on my TV at home is Sky News for some reason. So I watch a lot of Sky News. I know who he is, Nigel Farage. He was in America yesterday, and he told Americans, he said, hey, you look at what happened to Graham Linehan. This can happen to you. You're an American. You're tweeting some shit. And then you go to London for vacation? Yeah, so we'll talk about that. Talk about how this new law, bit of a follow-up, too, on the story that we covered yesterday concerning the creator of the It Crowd, Graham Linehan, being arrested for tweeting mean stuff about trans people on Twitter. Yeah, I still call it Twitter. Conor McGregor, Conor McGregor is going to be the president of Ireland. Yeah, that's coming. 100%, man. No chance for a couple of reasons, and I'll share with you when we get to that story. We'll talk about that. Howard Stern, big mystery surrounding him. I've got some details I'll share with you about what's going on with Howard Stern. Yeah, I know. A lot of you, everybody was like, they fired him because he sucks now because he doesn't like Trump, right? That was the narrative from a couple of weeks ago. I told you that wasn't the real narrative. Well, the real narrative is coming clearer, and so we got details on that. The future of Howard Stern and Sirius XM. Talk about that. Bruce Willis. I got an update on Bruce Willis. The whole Bruce Willis situation is just sad. It's sad because he's an icon and he's somebody that I think we all have a fun, look, whatever it is, right? You're a diehard freak, I'm a moonlighting guy. David Addison, like that was the first introduction to Bruce. I've loved that guy since 1985? He was like the first, David Addison was the first character on TV where I went, oh, this is interesting. This is different. This isn't the same as all the other ones. It was great. So Bruce Willis, there's been a lot of sad stories about him. We have some details and an update on his situation, and it's good news. It's good news considering the overarching sadness of the whole thing. So I'll share that with you as well. Got some Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle information. We got another celebrity death, so we'll have to figure out what's going on with the death trilogy. Excuse me. We like to keep track, and by we I mean me and the voices in my head. We like to keep track of the celebrity death trilogy. They all die in threes. Well, we keep track of that around here, and so we got to do some house cleaning. It's been a couple of weeks. We've had a bunch of people die. We've had another big name die today. So let's figure out where we are. The celebrity death trilogy. What else do we have? And if we got time, we got a bunch of other things we'll do. We're gonna celebrate John Candy. That's right. Just that's all I'm going to tell you about the segment. We're going to celebrate John Candy. If you love John Candy as I love John Candy is timeless. Today we're going to celebrate John Candy, and I'll tell you why when we get to it. Also, this is if we have time. So the Saturday Night Live new cast the new additions to the cast has been announced, which I guess means we know the full cast, but I didn't do the math on that. But the new additions to the cast have been announced. And there's already infighting. There's already like problems with the new cast. And so I did a deep dive last night on the new cast, just watching everything, and I've got your pick to click. I've got the one who is going to break out. Every year we get new cast members and you look at them and you're like, which one's going to be Eddie Murphy? Which one's going to be, I don't know, who's a good female recently? Who's going to be Tina Fey? Who's going to be Amy Poehler? Who's going to be Kristen Wiig, right? That's what we do. I got one. Who's going to be Will Ferrell, right? I got one. So I'll tell you which one and I'll explain why. And that's if we have time. I don't know. We've got so much to do here, but I am desperate for tips because it is tip month, tip week. So I may go long, just grinding it out for every little ounce that I might possibly get. Like, follow, subscribe, do all of that stuff. And all right, with that, let's get started. So first, here we go. And again, I realize this is only for a few of you. The new show that I'm starting, the new music show, man, has got all my drives are now listening to independent music. And by the way, I don't just listen to like 15 seconds and then go, nope. To truly curate, my system is got to listen to it 3 times in a row. Got to listen to the song 3 times in a row. And if on the 3rd time, I'm like, I'd listen to that again, boom, it makes the list. If after 3, I'm like, yeah, I don't hear it, it doesn't make the list. So I've been sharing with you songs that will appear as the original 10 on the very first new music indie chart show that I'm going to be doing here with Radio Misfits and The Witch's Cauldron, which is a new curation site that some friends of mine are developing, and we're very excited about it. Okay, so I've been playing songs for you. These are artists who are unsigned for the most part. I found out one of them just got signed, and I'm like, I'm still going to play them. I'm still playing them. It's so frustrating. I'm like trying to do like an unsigned band things, and then when the record companies sign them before I have a chance to hit air, it really makes me mad. But anyway, I'm going to be playing a new song for you. That's right. I'm going to be playing. Every song that I've played for you so far, I consider to be absolute bangers. Yesterday, I played a song called Happy by an artist living in Nashville. I think she's from Minnesota, but she lives in Nashville now, named Karis. Happy. That is a hit song. That is a hit song on any number of modern radio formats or modern distribution platforms. It is a genre hit. That is what Happy is. Played it for you yesterday. Some of you, April said she liked it on Spotify, and that's the whole point. It's the whole point of what we're doing, so thank you for doing that. Today, I want to play something for you. This is another great song. This is, now, I tell you, I listened to him 3 times, but this was a song where halfway through it, I went, nope, this is making the list. This is just good. Pull it up for you. It's from a guy, and I can't even, his name is Jeff, okay? It's G-E-H-P-H. G-E-H-P-H. And, you know, I don't like that. I don't like clever spellings of everyday names. It should be G. Well, if you want to be fancy, the only acceptable fancy for Jeff is G-E-O. You know, the G off. Is that F-F or P-H? I don't know. But that's the only fancy spelling of Jeff I'll accept. I do not accept G-E-H-P. Hold on, let me do this. This is a song called In the Shadows. And I have a affinity for breakup songs. Like, I love songs from the male perspective that are just like, you know, I need out of this relationship. What's a great example? Sail On. Sail On by the Commodores is like one of the greatest. There's a number of them too. I could bore you with my off the top of my head list. But this one is now on my list of the greatest FU to chick songs that have ever been. This is called Jeff. It's called In the Shadows. And it deals with the subject matter of being with a woman who is too pretty. She's too pretty. There's so many headaches come with being with a girl that is too pretty. So this is a song that will make the first 10 song list. This is Jeff. It's called In the Shadows. Check this out.
Well, look at this, you blew a kiss and all the mess we made. You caught on camera, your ass is out for parade. They look at you. Wow, so pretty. I'm in the shadow, so pitiful. Just me. Just me. So what comes next? I'm complex. This is just a game. You said you love me, but it's more like charades. I can't complain, but I still do. When all the attention is drawn to you. Just me. Just me. I wake up just to see that you are not there. I'm looking up, I'm looking everywhere. I tried to call, reinstall. What's that app you use? Standing here, I'm confused. Wait, straight to voicemail.
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you. I hope you're doing really good. Call me sometime, okay? Okay? Bye.
You're full of shit, my name is Jeff and I just ghosted you. After this thought, I'm over you. Yeah. I'm standing up, I'm standing out, I am the party now. I am the party now. Just me. Just me.
All right. That's In the Shadows. Jeff, spelled G-E-H-P-H. In the Shadows. All right. I love that one. Jeff, In the Shadows. That'll be a part of the original 10 songs that we play coming up. Maybe next week. I don't know. We're going to start it. We got to get everything in place. This is not just me. This is me working with other people running different platforms, and everybody's got to come together. April says she's not feeling that one. All right. That's all right. I would say listen to it 2 more times. That's the rule of thumb. Halfway through that one. Halfway through with the phone call where she's like, I love you. And then he's like, hey, my name is Jeff and I just ghosted you. I'm like, yeah, fucking tell that bitch off. That's why April doesn't like it, because it's a male empowerment song. Sometimes we get hurt too, April. And it ain't always, come on, they got a whole movie called Mean Girls, okay? Don't act like it's always us who are the jerks. Barney not feeling it. Peter likes it. Barney says, let's see, this is what we want with the curation. This is why we're going to have the chat room up and we're going to have people, Barney says he's not feeling this one. A little synthetic. All right, then. Peter likes this one. Peter says, I like this one. All right. That's all. And again, this music show that I'm going to be doing will take place before this show. If we can continue doing this show. Now we will, because I love doing it for you. And it's a labor of love and that whole thing. All right. Scoozums. That was a burp. I shouldn't have done that. That was rude, and I apologize. April, it's not an order. April's like, all right, I'll listen 2 more times. It's not an order. But, I just feel I was taught that. I was taught that by the music director who trained me to be his assistant. He said, I need you to listen to each song 3 times because it's too easy to just miss a hit because it just didn't resonate the first time. You've got to listen to it 3 times. It's got to be. And then if you listen to it 3 times and it doesn't really stick with you, here's the other rule. If you find yourself like 10 minutes later humming it, it's stuck with you and you need to listen to that again. Anyway, all right. It's a new thing. Music curation. I know it's not a new thing. I'm an old man. It's new to me. That's all. It's new to me. We're going to try and do it at a different level. Let's see here. KB is a big music guy. He says, I like it better than yesterday. Still too commercial for me. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Commercial. Well, I appreciate that. And it may, in fact, be, Kevin, a little too commercial for me as well. But again, we're looking for hits. All right. So as like a music curator and as a person who's trying to figure out, will this sell with a certain group of people? Is this a hit? You got to sometimes step out of what you're most comfortable with and go, can I see people liking this? That's all right. April says, I Don't F With You by Big Sean is the best male song for a breakup. Really? I'm unfamiliar. Thank you. I will be checking out I Don't F With You by Big Sean. Gotta be honest. My familiarity with the works of Big Sean is lacking. I am not all that familiar. That is not my genre. I am not going to be fooling with the hip-hop genre. Nobody needs to see me telling you what's a good hip-hop song. Just... All right. Let's see here. What else do we have? Anybody else in the chat room saying stuff? Barney's got one more comment. Let's put that up. He says that keyboard beat wasn't doing it for me. Keyboard beat. Whatever, man. Hey, man, music is art. Music is art. If there's one thing that I've learned over the course of the past 2 years working in an art gallery, somebody will look at something and go, that's stupid. And then the very next person will walk in and go, I'll pay $5,000 for that. Art, man, hits different people differently. Sometimes it's unexplainable. All right, let's see. What are we doing? The big story that I want to talk about first and foremost is, of course, the Dallas Cowboys. You didn't think I was going to let today's show go by without celebrating. Today is, in fact, the beginning of the NFL football season. It is the 245th season of the NFL, and it kicks off tonight in Philadelphia with the NFL's defending champion Philadelphia Eagles taking on our upstart, shoddy-led Cowboys. It's gonna be terrible. Just a really bad draw. It is just a really bad draw for your first game with a new coach and a national spotlight on you, especially your defense, because of the failure to get Micah Parsons, a generational player, signed to your team, and then having to deal him. And then Jerry's like, no, it's a good deal. All right. You don't trade a generational player. Whatever. We're not going to get into that. It's a whole bunch of bad circumstances. That's on paper. That's the shit the experts go on. Not people like you and me who watch football. Because those of us who watch football, we completely understand that this could be a trap game for the Eagles. This could absolutely be a trap game for the defending Super Bowl champ. Oh, are they getting their rings tonight? That's always the best game to get. Because, if you have an optimistic view of humanity, you think, oh, on the night they got their rings, they're going to be pumped up and play like champions. No, that's the optimistic view of humanity. My view of humanity is after these millionaire 25-year-olds get their rings, they're all going to be like hanging out on the sideline and having a good time and not paying attention to the ass whipping your Dallas Cowboys are putting on them. It happens. Trap games, man. They happen all the time. National TV. Here's the metric that I'd like to employ. What is the better story tomorrow? Like, what do you think? Like, will the story tomorrow morning be that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to repeat and they're on the verge of being a dynasty and they just looked amazing? Or is the story going to be tomorrow, hey, Jerry Jones got himself a steal with this Schottenheimer. Kenny Clark got 3 sacks. What's the story going to be? I don't know. Again, on paper, I'm just here to be an optimist for my Cowboy fan friends and my son. On paper, yeah, it looks like the Cowboys are going to get absolutely fucking sunk. It looks like they are going to get killed on paper. But again, we watch football. Trap game. We've got trap game optimism is what I'm trying to tell you here. Trap game optimism going into tonight's game. Any other thoughts? Where's my CC? CC would be good to have in the chat room right now with some thoughts on the Cowboy game. I saw a new tier level for quarterbacks put out today, and they had Dak on top tier still. That's good. That was good. He made top tier. He didn't make elite. I mean, he wasn't there with Josh, Patrick, and Lamar. That was the elite tier. But just underneath that top tier, you had Dak. Dak was in there with Stafford. Who else? The guy who's the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, whose name I could never remember and want to call him Jalen Rose. That ain't it. Jalen Hurts, of course, is who that is. He was there too. All right. So what? It's Prime. How does this work in Dallas? Like, is it on free TV? Because nationally, no, it's Monday night. Wait, no, it's not Monday night. Holy shit, I forgot what day it was. It's Thursday Night Football. This is Prime. So if I live in Cleveland and I want to watch the NFL season open up, I have to have Amazon Prime. But if I live in Dallas and this is a home game, I believe it's on locally, right? Would it be on Channel 2? CBS? Well, who's Prime? Who is Prime involved with? I don't know. It's so hard. It is so hard to watch games now. And that didn't make it any easier with, the story I'm going to tell you about the big pirate stream site where we could watch all our games for free with no problems. Well, some pop-ups. A lot of pop-ups. And, you don't want to be watching with kids because a lot of the pop-ups on these pirate stream sites that we're going to talk about are very, very hardcore pornography. The ads are not nuanced, if you know what I'm saying. Any thoughts? That's it. I got nothing. Peacock, Adam says the game is on NBC here. Okay, NBC. NBC has a deal with Prime then, I guess. That would probably be just local, I would think. Well, not just local in Philadelphia too. Like Philadelphia and Dallas, I guess, would be on NBC or Peacock. Okay, thank you, Adam. There you go. Just remember, it's a trap game. It's a trap game. Oh, this isn't a Prime game. This is, okay, Peter's got real information. Well, what? They did this last year. You're right. You're right. They did this last year. The Thursday night Amazon Prime football game is not the first game of the year that is played on Thursday night. No, for some reason, Sunday Night Football moves in and calls it Sunday night on Thursday night, which is just, I don't know. But no, you're right. I'm sorry. Okay, you're right. This is not a freaking Prime game. I'll tell you what sucks about this for me. I got two teams. I got the Cowboys and I got the Bears. But let's be honest. I care more about my Bears than I do my Cowboys. Cowboys being the first game is very nice. Thursday night, that's a treat. Nobody else gets to watch their team. We get to go 3 days early. Although I'm telling you, as Cowboy fans, on Sunday, when everybody else is playing and we're watching the red zone and whatnot, we're not seeing the Cowboys. We're going to be like, oh, I wish the Cowboys played on Sunday. Now think of my plight. I've been waiting for months now for the first game of the year, and my team is playing on Monday night, the last game of the first week. I got to wait. Did we just get disconnected for a minute? Did you just see that? Did the screen just went away for a second? On my end, it did. I don't know if my screen went blank for a second. What is going on with the restream? All right, let's keep moving. We'll keep moving along because we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. A lot of stuff. There's a game tomorrow on YouTube? Friday Night Football. Okay, Friday Night Football. So what does that mean? Is there only one day of the week where we haven't played an NFL football game? Wednesday, right? Wednesday is the only game. Although I imagine that we'll start playing Wednesday games the night before Thanksgiving. And then we will still have the Thanksgiving games, but they'll figure out a way to make money off adding a Wednesday game. Because there's been Saturday football, of course, every year during the postseason. There's Saturday football, Sunday football, obvious, Monday Night Football. There was one occasion when Monday Night Football had to be moved to Tuesday, so we played NFL football on Tuesday. I don't think we have on Wednesday. We have Thursday and we have Friday now. Now we play football on Fridays. We're becoming like Premier League soccer. Football, I guess. They play like every day, like, you play on Tuesday and then you play like 3 days later. And I guess that's okay because soccer is not a contact sport. But for football, man, you can't be screwing with these guys' recuperation schedules like this. Like, could you imagine playing on a Sunday and you get hurt and you're driving towards the end of the season? Every game is important. You're a starter and you're going to play Thursday, like 4 days later, even though you shouldn't, but you are. That's terrible. I don't like it. All right, there you go. Tonight, Cowboys game. Very excited. I'm going to make I got all the fixings for a really good ham sandwich tonight. That's right. I'm a guy who plans his dinner hours beforehand. It's baked ham. It's baked. It's going to be a nice baked ham sandwich. I got this onion jalapeno cheese bread from the bakery. Because I go to Kroger every day. Well, I like to go by the bakery in the Kroger because you can get like really fancy breads that they're afraid is about to go stale. And you can get them for like a penny. Well, 100 pennies. I bought this loaf for $1. Onion jalapeno cheese bread. I'm going to make a ham sandwich on it. It is amazing. See, it's a good thing about being broken. Seriously, this is a positive about being broke and only buying shit that's on sale. You are forcing yourself to try new things and discover new things and go, oh my God, look at me. I love Kroger brand jalapeno onion cheese bread for sandwiches. I'm so hot, you guys. Not sexually and physically, I mean actual temperature-wise. All right, Powerball last night, no winner. It was 1.3. We were all excited about that. $1.3 billion was up for grabs yesterday. There was no winner. I guess we should all check our cards because there's like, you won $1 million. But when you're hoping to win like 100 billion or whatever it is, 1 billion, it's not 100 billion. You're hoping to win, $1.3 billion jackpot when it's like $1 million is like, no. And would you be kind of mad? I think I might be kind of mad. This is how weird I am. Like if I played the big lotto Powerball and I only won $1 million, I mean, I wouldn't be that mad. I'd get over it, but I would be like, fuck, was that my luck bullet? Did I just get because it's luck. If you're going to win the Powerball, it's going to be luck. And I believe that we all have just a few luck bullets that we have in a holster that we use throughout our life. Sometimes they come at the most amazing times, but is this like, oh, my luck bullet delivered me $1 million instead of 1 billion? I would be kind of, well, that's why there's therapy. And with $1 million, I could go back to therapy. That would be good. I'd get through it. But then I'd just be like, I'll never play lotto again because there's no way I'll win twice. And then I'll Google it and I'll find out that there have been people who won twice. So I'll be right back in line with the rest of you. All right. Next drawing is Saturday night Powerball. It's going to be 1.7 billion. which I believe if you take the cash payout and then with taxes, I think you'll get something like, $2,500. I think that's after they take their absurd cut. 1.7 billion. You're still not going to clear $1 billion. You're still, I think the number would have to be like 3 billion for you to actually clear $1 billion if you win. Saturday night, be there. Powerball. And I don't know how Powerball works. Here's how I order Powerball. What's the big one tonight? And then they'll be like, that's Powerball, because it's always a black lady. That's Powerball. And I'll be like, okay, I'll take one of those. And then she'll go over to the machine and she'll mumble something. And I just go, yeah. And I pay for it. I don't even know what it is. $2-3. Someday I'll find out what she's mumbling that I'm agreeing to. I don't even know what I'm agreeing to. Hi, what's the big one? Powerball. All right, can I get in on that? Because I don't even know the terminology. Sure, baby. And then she'll turn and she'll go over there and she does the mumble. And I'm like, yeah, sure. If that'll get me out of here. Because again, I buy my Powerball tickets in bad neighborhoods because I figure I'm not 100% on God, right? You guys know that about me. Like, I was raised a Catholic, so I'm like, I don't really know if there's a God. And then there's all kinds of like things where I'm like, that's not the work of a God, not the God that I was taught about. So I'm not sure, but if there is, right, he's gonna be a working class or poor people neighborhood that's gonna win it. And I always feel bonded with the person who sells me the ticket, because don't they get a cut too? Like, I always have a funny line. I go, hey, when I win, you and me, we're going to run off to Mexico. That's right. I always say it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if I'm sexually attracted to the middle-aged black lady at the 7-Eleven. I'm still saying that. You and me, we're running off to Mexico if I win. Ha ha. We all laugh, and then I get the fuck out of there. Because, again, it's a bad neighborhood. All right. What else do we have here? Let's see. What else is happening? Well, should we get into the RFK Jr. stuff? I mean, why not? All right. So RFK Jr. went in front of the whatever we're calling it these days, the Western Knesset. I don't know what we're calling what's happening with our government, but whatever. He went in front of people who got elected to do shit. And they were all mad at him. There were a couple, like there's a couple like diehard MAGA people who weren't mad at him. But even like the Republicans, like I know Bill Cassidy's a bad example. He's a senator out of Louisiana because he hates Trump and he's a Republican, but he's popular, right? And he's a doctor, and he's an actual doctor. So, he's there and he's talking to RFK Jr. and RFK Jr. is just like reciting shit from his books. That's what he did. RFK Jr. wrote a bunch of books to an audience that he knew he could sell to with a narrative he knew they'd buy. And now he's in charge of the health of the country. It's basically a QAnon superstar, right? That got elevated now. So, my problem with him goes way back before that. But long story short, he went up in front of them and they were all like, you suck. And he's like, no, I don't suck. And they're like, you suck. And it was just a big mess and everybody was yelling at each other. We'll play a couple examples of it. Well, here, we'll show you. This is Cassidy. Why not? All right, I got a little quick clip here from Cassidy, the Republican senator out of the great state of Louisiana. He went hard. He's also a doctor. So let's watch this. Or not also a doctor. RFK Jr. is not a doctor. Although he's taking a lot of drugs, that we know, and we'll get into that. All right, here you go. This is Bill Cassidy, senator out of Louisiana, a Republican who's not happy with RFK Jr. But here's something I do want to draw your attention to. You see her? Oh, my God. She was a reason that I stayed watching. This is the sexiest Health and Human Services aide staffer. I'm sure Cheryl Hines loves her. Cheryl Hines is, of course, RFK Jr.'s wife. Anyway, we got more on her. We're gonna learn more about her. The internet needs to let us know who she is because she is sexy and she is obviously fucking RFK Jr. All right, here you go. This is Bill Cassidy, senator from Louisiana.
And I'm approaching this as a doctor, not as a senator. I am concerned about children's health, seniors' health, all of our health. And I applaud you for joining the president in a call for radical transparency. Thank you for that. I said yesterday, I believe it, that President Trump deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed. If he had been President Obama, he would have gotten it. But because of Operation Warp Speed, forcing the federal government to come to a vaccine development within 10 months when others said it couldn't be done, we saved millions of lives globally, trillions of dollars. We reopened economies, an incredible accomplishment.
All right, let me just interrupt right here. Because, you know, I like to make fun of Trump. Excuse me, I swallowed water funny. You know, I like to make fun of Trump because I don't think he's qualified. You know, whatever. Hey, he bedazzled people and now he's president. So apparently this whole system that I grew up believing in, Thomas Jefferson and our founding fathers, is really just a Ponzi scheme and it's all just a construct. So let's just go with it. I've been pretty clear about that. But Cassidy's right here. You know, whenever the subject of Donald Trump and a Nobel Peace Prize comes up, people scoff at it, especially people on the left. And then, you know, the loudest cheerleaders are the dumbest fucking people on the planet who don't even know what a fucking Nobel Peace Prize is. So you got to dismiss them. But what Bill Cassidy just said right there is absolutely true. If Operation Warp Speed, the thing that led to us, the United States, having the breakthrough with the COVID virus, if Operation Warp Speed had been done by Joe Biden or even Barack Obama, as he mentioned, one of those two guys, both of them, doesn't matter, they would have received the Nobel Prize. Not Trump, though. Not Trump. Europe hates Trump. Look, I know we were told, you know, that, they finally respect us. No, they fucking think he's a joke, guys. Okay? They think he's a joke. But whatever, he's our joke. We're the most powerful. You can't laugh too loudly because, again, he's got nukes. So, you know, but let's not pretend that those fucking elitist weirdos in Europe don't fucking love MAGA. Okay, they don't. They see it as a problem. They see it as a disruption to a system that has treated them very well. So they are a bit concerned with the new changes in the way Europe and America have their dealings. Anyway, they'll never give him a Nobel Prize. They will never give Donald Trump a Nobel Prize. Cassidy is right here. He does deserve at least to have a conversation about a Nobel Prize because of this, because of Operation Warp Speed. Now let's continue.
Within 10 months, when others said it couldn't be done, we saved millions of lives globally, trillions of dollars. We reopened economies, an incredible accomplishment. Mr. Secretary, do you agree with me that the president deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed?
Yeah, absolutely, Senator. That was phenomenal.
Let me ask you, but you just told Senator Bennett that the COVID vaccine killed more people than COVID.
Wait,
that was a statement.
I did not say that.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, then let me ask, because you also
Senator, I just want to make clear, I did not say that.
We'll check the record. That's a question of fact.
All right, see, what he did there was an opportunity for him, Robert Kennedy Jr., to resoundingly say that he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize for something that he himself thinks was a horrible curse upon our nation, so much so that he is firing all the people in the CDC who had anything to do with Operation Warp Speed. But here he is. Yes, Operation Warp Speed. We must fire everyone involved except for Trump, who must receive the Nobel Prize. That's what Cassidy just did to him.
You also said that you were also, as lead attorney for the Children's Health Defense, you engaged in multiple lawsuits attempting to restrict access to the COVID vaccine. Again, it surprises me that you think so highly of Operation Warp Speed when, as an attorney, you attempted to restrict access.
All right. Well, that's what happens when you have no principles. You're just social climbing or political climbing or trying to appeal to anyone. You don't have to have any consistency. Hypocrisy? Come on. How long have people been screaming about hypocrisy in politics? Hypocrisy is a given. All right. So stop acting like that's a deterrent. They'll call you a hypocrite. People don't know what hypocrite means. No, they don't, Bobby. They don't. All right, let's watch this. Can you check this? I just want to show you this. This is his staffer who was behind him the whole damn day. So sexy. She's like, why does he have young staff? Why does Bobby Kennedy? Hold on. Let me make sure we do this. One of the things about RFK Jr.'s staff there is that it's a bunch of hot chicks. It's like he's surrounding himself with a bunch of hot chicks, which is fine. You know, well, Washington could probably use an infusion of hot chicks. I mean, there's a bunch of gargoyles running around with Trump. He needs to clean house. We need to get back to the image that the Trump administration puts out with that Caroline chick. You know, the one that looks like a bangable Amy Schumer. That is what Trump women should look like, not these like gargoyles with plastic surgery habits. Their faces are all pulled back. You chicks were hot in the first administration. This is the second one. You're not hot anymore. The really ugly ones they ship overseas, like the one that got engaged to Don Jr. What was that one's name? The one that used to be married to Gavin Newsom, but then was like in love with Don Jr. Talk about a lack of principles. Talk about not having any idealistic foundation. She just went, anyway, they kicked her out. She got way too ugly. She had one too many plastic surgeries, and now she's like the ambassador to like, you know, Swaziland or something. They moved her into an ambassadorship, and no one's heard from her since. What's her name? Christine Guilfoyle. Oh my God, breaking news, you guys. Breaking news. I'm sorry. You know this is a big issue to me. Breaking news. Dollar Tree is now warning that they will raise prices again. I won't get into my Dollar Tree rant. That'll probably be for tomorrow. All right, look forward to that. Breaking news. RFK Jr.'s aide, sitting right behind him the whole time he's testifying. And she is just giving him... They're having sex. There is no doubt that they are having sex, and there is no doubt that this woman is a huge problem for Cheryl Hines, who is, of course, RFK Jr.'s wife. RFK Jr., he does this. He gets younger at the position, as most of the Kennedys do. He left his first wife for his second wife, and then he was cheating on his third wife with his second wife, and then his third wife killed herself because of it, and then he married the chick from Curb. And so now the chick from Curb is like in her 50s, and he's like, hey, did you see my new staffer? Look at her. Look at the way she looks at me. Cheryl, you don't look at me the way, her name is probably like Amber. You don't look at me the way Amber looks at me. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let me show this to you. All right, here you go. Look at her. I zoomed in on her. You got to just see the way she is looking at him. Oh, first of all, she starts out with a little she was licking her lips a lot. Like she was, and I started recording. I missed the lipping, but you can see right here. She's lipping. She just went, oh, you can't see me. Here, no, you can't. All right. She just went like this. She just went. So that's what we're seeing right here. That's what we just missed. Check this chick out, though. She is just total. This is a woman who is sleeping with this man.
First, we are doing our part to fulfill the president's commitment to stop human trafficking, especially of children. We inherited a terrible humanitarian crisis from the previous administration.
Oh my God! I need one girlfriend to look at me like that just once. If you get an opportunity to rewatch that, you need to focus on her, because I wasn't able to capture, because it was all on live TV. I wasn't able to go back and get the good stuff. But that, I just wanted to show you an example.